I give you my latest creation, the Smurfette, the ultimate Viper ACR Extreme. Welcome back to Exotic Car Hacks. We are taking a look now at finally my finished version of what I believe to be what a Viper should look like. So you guys been following the channel, you know I just bought this car not too long ago. This is an ACR Extreme in competition blue. Shout out to my friends at Chicago Motor Cars for getting me this car and me chasing it for so long and them agreeing to sell it to me. And then the modifications, of course, started. So we did a couple of things here. I thought this was one of the best driving cars when I got it. It drove really, really well, a lot better than I ever expected, which is why I decided specifically to make the modifications very light and exciting. So there's a few things we've done to this car to really make it really appeal to not just the Viper audience, but really do something unique that you wouldn't see everywhere. So I wanted to do what we consider the reverse of the final anniversary edition, which is white with blue stripes. And so I wanted a competition blue car because it's very catchy and catchy colors work well for this car. And then I wanted to add a stripe system, but there were a couple of restrictions. And I'm going to show you kind of what I decided to do and in what order for what reason. The first must-do mod on any Viper, of course, are these vents. They are absolutely a must-do. They're only $1,000. It makes sense to do them on your cars. They're easy to put in and out. It doesn't require a fender or anything. They just install on the bottom, and they're like, you can buy them as cheap as 800 bucks. Now, that was my first go-to option. It just made sense. The second one that would have made sense, but it didn't, was to do these honeycombs here in carbon fiber, and that didn't work out because no matter which ones I put in, it gave me a feeling that I didn't like the fit and finish exactly as I wanted, and so I chose to just leave the factory. But then came the next piece, which was the car kind of sat with a huge gap here, and that was annoying with adjustable suspension, and it lacked carbon except on these edges, like on the wing, etc. And so we needed to add some carbon components. So in the front, this carbon made sense. The carbon canards, of course, make sense, but the carbon side skirt here was added for that wider feel and look, even though it's completely useless, for just a design that works just enough to give a little touch of carbon on the side. No interior modifications were done, and then, of course, factory size but better offset wheels from HRE. This is the classic Le Mans design wheel in gloss white to really get it to obviously give the car a contrasting feel and a race feel. Keeping the factory Kumo ACR tires for that fat look, not going a size bigger, and instead adding an element of white stripes. So let me tell you a little bit about how I've decided to do the white stripes. And by the way, if you're confused about why I modify cars, I enjoy cars and I've always collected cars, so it made sense for me to start modifying them because obviously not only enjoy more as a driver, but in the long term, they also bring in significant value on the resale. A lot of people are misguided these days thinking that cars do not sell better when they're modded. They sell better than stock. Trust me, I've bought and sold well over 1,000 cars now. I've owned personally over 300 cars. I have a near $20 million car collection. I don't need your advice on what will sell a car for some idiot in the comments to tell me that, oh, modified cars do not sell better, everybody wants stock. I don't give a shit. Unless your car collection looks better than mine, don't worry about your opinion. Now, one of the things that does matter here, though, in modifying cars is you have to do tasteful modifications that attract a very specific buyer, someone that likes things like you, not just stuff out of your asshole. So one of the things I decided to retain here, the regular stripe system on the actual Viper has two similar size stripes that come all the way down to the bottom. You'll see this on everyone, and they are painted. Obviously, these are vinyl, so it didn't make sense to do the same design for one simple reason. You see, if you come all the way down, this sticker, when they're not painted, this little like logo basically gets hidden and gets damaged, so it wouldn't work unless you did the sticker over. The other thing that also happens is it becomes very dominant in the design if you do the white stripes all the way. So where I came up with this design was there's a special edition car called the Snakeskin Viper ACR, which is basically these white stripes, except they're actually carbon unpainted and the rest of the hood is painted. I decided to duplicate that design specifically for this car. However, did it in a manner where the stripes were actually the painted ones. And so since the original design here is usually carbon fiber, not stripes, there's a little different element where the stripes basically end here, the carbon ends here, and the exposure starts here, and it follows through to the back very, very nicely coming here and ending right at the edge of this deck lid instead of going over the wing. Now, I didn't want to put stripes over the wing for the one simple reason that the carbon would then be hidden, and I didn't want the stripes to follow down. This minimalistic stripe design just adds just the right touch of white on the top while retaining the white wheels and balancing out white, carbon, and blue, giving the perfect balance of a competition blue Extreme ACR Viper. So I wanted to share the car with you guys so you understood how it's modded, why I modded it. This is now done. It's actually become one of my favorite drivers in the collection, so really enjoyed, even though I'm usually not a fan of driving American cars. It drives really well, it's beautiful, it sounds great from the factory, and it's definitely going to be a great long-term addition to the master PJ spec collection that is right here at Exotic Car Hacks. So hope you've enjoyed. I would love to know your thoughts. I debated for a long time stripes or no stripes, so I kind of talked about it in previous videos. We did the drive in this car. We've now done the reveal of the car and now the final modification as well. We'll do a long-term review of the car down the road, obviously, because as I own these cars and I don't borrow them, there's a very different dynamic of ownership, cost of ownership, and so on and so forth. And we'll talk about these off course in the future as well. So let me know your thoughts. Did I do good? Would you change something? Would love to know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And don't forget, if you want to learn how cars like these have gone up double in value and ultimately helped someone make over 150K after owning it for like 8 years, then you need to learn how Exotic Car Hacks works. It's not just about buying cars low and selling them high. There's a proprietary strategy I put together to help individuals know how to pick the right cars that retain their value rather than cars that depreciate. And yes, we don't worry about insurance. We don't worry about the extremely expensive cost of repairs that aren't true anymore because we have proprietary ways to take care of that too. So if you want to learn more, click the link in the description and learn how to hack cars. There's a free training. And if you want to join Exotic Car Hacks, the link is also in there for you YouTubers to join us. We're over 20,000 strong and would love to have you. I will catch you next time on another video for Exotic Car Hacks. My name is Pejman Gadimi and I teach people how to drive exotics for free. Let's look here at how this Huracan can cost as little as $300 a month.